You know, I recently did a video on 7 things that you need to know before you buy a Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. And some people accuse me of whining a little bit. So today I'm going to do a video on 7 things I love. I'm just going to be straight out fanboy of this bike. There's so many things to love about this bike. Let's start with the weight. Okay, so this bike is about 450 pounds or 199 kilos. It's not the lightest of bikes, but it is light enough to do everything that I want. Because of the weight, it's easy to get on the center stand. In fact, it's easier than most of the big bikes that I've had. So I can lift up and I can get on the center stand. The one place that I find some difficulty with the weight is getting off the center stand, because it goes back quite a ways, right? It's very, very stable on the center stand, very stable. But, you know, what I would do with a lot of my other bikes, which were closer to the front, and obviously if they were back and stable like this, you couldn't do it, right? Get on there and maybe rock forward, right? And I can do that with this, but that's a little bit hard, right? And a lighter person might not be able to do it. So if I put it back up on the center stand, what I've learned is the easiest way to get it off the center stand is just to walk it off. Just to walk it off like this. Okay, so picking the bike up, it's never easy, but okay, let's do this. It's not that hard. But here's another thing. The height of this bike is, you know, and that was one of the designs, right? They wanted to keep the height low. So the height is low. It's easy for me. I'm 6'2", but swinging a leg over is fine. Swinging a leg over is perfectly simple for me. Even keeping it in the high position, it's not too high for me. That's also one of the reasons that Royal Enfield gave for having the side stand like this, because it tips the bike more, makes it more accessible to smaller riders. So if you're not as tall as me, if you're, you know, 5 foot something, you're going to have a better time with this bike than some of the other bikes, right? So that's also why they put the 17-inch wheel on there. Keeps the overall height low, and you know, there's a sacrifice in ground clearance. For most of the riding that I do, ground clearance is not an issue. I'm rarely riding something that requires a lot of ground clearance. If that's what you want to ride, then maybe this is not the bike for you. If you're looking for a commuter bike, I'm going to do a video on this as a commuter bike. Commuter bike, run around town bike, bike to do little trips on. This bike could be the bike for you. Well, I'm going to have to take the seat off because I want to show you another fabulous thing that I like about this bike, and it's the access to the electronics. Take the key, take that out, and then this lifts off, boom, and here's your battery. The last few bikes I've had the Africa Twin, I've got a BMW 1200, I had the Honda 250, I had the Honda NC 750. None of them have a battery that's right under the seat. Back when I had a Yamaha 650 Special in the 80s, had a battery, I don't know if the battery was under the seat there or it was in a little side pocket that you can come off. But every other bike requires tools at minimum to get at the battery. Africa Twin, nightmare getting at the battery, nightmare. So I love this. This is my favorite bike for being able to get at the battery. So the battery, we've got the fuses here, you know, this is all like right there. Let's go out on the road and I'll show you some more of the things that I like about this bike. Another one of the things that I love about this bike is the range. So if you can see here on trip 1, I filled up, you know, I set it to 0 when I filled up. Fuel range, it says 306, and I've already done 77. So we're looking at 350 plus anyways. That's really a good range for a little bike like this. I have a 1 gallon, that's almost 4 liters Rotopacks. If I had that with me, I could go 500 kilometers. There's not very many places in North America, admittedly in the Yukon, where 500 kilometers is going to, between gas is going to be a problem. For camping, for back roads, for backroad discovery route, which like I said, I'm planning on this summer, fuel range is great. Power, not a problem. This is kilometers an hour if you're wondering, so that's not American Speedway freeway speeds. Fuzziness in the mirrors, slight. Fuzziness in the pedals, slight. Fuzziness in the windscreen. I think this mount is crooked. You know, I've hit much higher speeds on my BMW coming up here, but for a 1-cylinder 450, I think that's respectable. And it'll keep up with anything. You know, I don't expect to be touring on highways, on American freeways. I don't like doing that on any kind of motorcycle. You know, and the price is, you know, $8,000 Canadian. Now remember, Canadian is worth about 65 to 70 cents US. So $8,000 Canadian is comparable to the DR 650, to the CRF 300. All those bikes are kind of in the same range. You go down to a Versus, so it's about $1,000 lower versus 300, which I would think that's the most comparable bike because it's also off-road capable but mostly road focused. So the price is okay. I mean, $8,000 isn't chump change to me, and you know, it's not, I'm not saying that that's a bargain by any means. If you really want a bargain, buy last year's Himalayan. They're selling them for like $4,000 now. But the price is very reasonable. And number 7 is the design. I know this is completely subjective, and many people prefer a more modern looking adventure bike, but I love the look of this bike. Maybe it will wear off over time, but I still get a charge out of seeing the bike parked, waiting for me. If you like the Himalayan 450 or are considering buying one, consider subscribing to this channel. Over the next year, I've got a roadbook rally to ride, I'm planning a BDR, and I'll be taking it on other road trips, as well as riding it as my daily rider. See you in the next video.